All right, so I went to Samuel's Public Library today, and I was ready with a ton of files to try and create things with the laser cutter or the Glowforge that they have at their new makerspace in what they call Studio 330, which also includes a memory lab, which they got both through funding from the Carnegie Mellon grant that they got last year. So it opened up in October, and I already went through like a training on the laser cutter previously, and today I just said, okay, I'm ready. So this was the first thing I worked on. I made this with the puzzle here using Inkscape with a puzzle extension, and I was able to say how many pieces across, how many pieces high, and what's the height of the image and the width of the image. And that just generated the puzzle cuts itself. It didn't create the actual image. The actual image was a photo in color. I made it very large and then converted it to grayscale and adjusted the contrast and such a bit. And then I was able to apply a newspaper filter to convert it to just black and white only. And then I was able to take that into Inkscape and convert it to an SVG file so that the laser cutter could actually understand that and make the image. There are a few problems. You can see the image does not bleed over, so there's a white edge at the bottom. So that's my bad there. The puzzle has such small pieces that it gives when you twist it, I guess. So the pieces need to be bigger is the problem. And the other issue with why they need to be bigger is that they're so small that it's very hard to figure out the context of where that puzzle piece is in relation to when you're looking at the actual photo. So if I grab this here, and the other issue with that is because it's only a black and white image, but then you're like looking at that and you're like, wait a minute, what does that go to? Does it go here? Does it go there? What is this? I can't tell what that is. So it was very difficult because I tried to do this myself and put the puzzle together, but it is doable. There are ways to kind of help you along. For one, there's like the direction of the burn. Let's see, can I see that or no? Let me see. There is like a grain to how it is. Can you see the little spikes on the edge? So that's the vertical, or not the vertical, the horizontal cut of the laser. So that kind of helps you tell what direction that piece should be, or at least if the horizontal direction. Yeah, so I think with the workshop that I'm going to set up, I'm probably going to set up maybe puzzles the size of a coaster and a little bit larger pieces for better context of what you're looking at. So this puzzle goes into a box, and this was also made with an Inkscape extension. You get to say the height, the width, and the depth of your box. This box is way too large. I should have probably made it about maybe 2/3 the size, and maybe not as high as that, because this only fills up maybe 1/3 of the way. But I decided to add the logo of Samuel's Public Library at the bottom, and then the lid has a reference of what you're building. There is a puzzle contest coming up, so I was going to offer this to the library. I already talked to the president of the board about it, and she had some other suggestions, so I'm gonna just let her have it, and she can make a decision of what she's gonna do with it. bookmarks. So I think because it is a library, bookmarks will be a nice workshop to have for people. And this is leather, very floppy. And I'll tell you what, leather stinks. I thought wood was a little smelly, but leather is very, very smelly. Glowforge does not like text, so I had to bring this into Illustrator while I was there and convert the text into a shape, and then Inkscape was happy. But you can see I was able to cut a little circle. Some people put tassels on the end, so I'll probably get some yarn and make some tassels. Before I do that, I'm gonna show you, while I was there, I did a 3D print, and this is an organ pipe. And I found a book from the early 1900s on organ building and traced some of the internals, and I want to see if I could actually get this to whistle. But I was pressed for time, so I made it only a half-hour build. And so the part where the air comes out is blocked. So I put it on the lowest quality, and that is what I got, was the lowest quality. So, but it was just a quick print that I would just want to try out, and maybe I can make it work. I don't know. All right, so this is a fun one. This is a little bit bigger than I realized it was going to be, but this is a maze game. The maze was created with Inkscape plugin or extension for building mazes. However, I did a lot of work to actually make it so that I could cut out the maze itself rather than because it just generates lines, straight lines. So I was able to stroke the line to get that rounded edge, and then I created a separate path around that for my cut marks, and that's how I got the maze. I got a little ball in here, which is just this split shot that you use on like fishing lines to weight them down. I'll probably get like plastic beads or something for the actual workshop that you just try and navigate, which I can't do very well when I'm holding the camera and looking at it this way. It's insane. But this is way too big than what I want people to do. But to add a bit more of a challenge, you have the star to start, but you have these numbers. So I have number 1 on a circle, a square, and a triangle. And the whole idea is 1 through 9 is located throughout the maze on the squares, the circles, and the triangles. The squares are harder to get through because you have to go much farther to get to each one. But I didn't really have any strategy for the circles and the triangles other than just to put them around like the 3x3 quadrants of the grid. Yeah, so I had more ideas of possibly making this a double-sided maze. I'm glad I didn't, because this takes up a lot of material. But that would have required holes, and the other problem I had is plexiglass, 1/8 inch. Apparently everybody loves it, and so Michaels did not have it available when I went to go look for it. So they need to get more acrylic. But yeah, this is a fun one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a quarter of the size and set up instructions to walk people through how to do it. But there are different options you could do. Rather than maze on both sides, you can just have holes as traps. So like the bottom would just lead you all the way back to the start position and start over again. And then another option would be to have like a cube where you have to go through each maze, and like somewhere along the edge would lead you to the next side of the cube. And then you could probably open up the cube and have something inside as well. It just as like a little place to store things. And then here is the leftovers, which is kind of a pretty cool thing to look at. I'm debating on using this for my barrel organ on the sides to at least let the sound escape, and I could actually kind of see on the inside of what's going on with the bellows and the gears and stuff. So, yay! Fun day, fun day.